channel you're listening to, making the introductions.
On our table today, we have Chris Robinson versus Chip Compton.
This match is on the one-loss side.
And that is the voice of George Teyachea from Tucson, Arizona.
Finally.
And I am happy to have you here with us, George. It's great to see you again.
Daniel, it's my pleasure being here with you. I mean, I always thought I'd be able to sit in the booth with you ever since you did a broadcast for me when I was playing Efren up in California.
Yeah, we were just talking
awesome.
about that, weren't we?
Yes, we were. And, I mean, your stream is just extremely high quality. It's television quality. Chip just laid his ball on the rail on the lag, for those of you that were watching. And like I said, there's 16 players left in this tournament. Started out yesterday morning with, was it 50 players?
Yeah, 51.
51 players.
51 players.
And we're down to the final 16. These gentlemen are on the one-loss side. And the players still remain in the matches for today, actually. This is a race to 3-1 pocket. The matches for today are Chip Compton and Chris Robinson, gentlemen you're about to watch. On the other one-loss side, there's Chris Adams versus Billy Thorpe, Brandon Schuff versus Warren Tiamco, Bob Herchick versus Jeffrey DeLuna, and on the winner's side, we have Andy Kacher out of Tucson, Arizona versus Alex Paglayan, Scott Frost and Dennis Orguyu, who I believe will be on the stream later on today, and that's one heck of a matchup. Ian Costello versus Gus Brasino, and Tony Chohan versus Josh Roberts.
Boy, that is an all-star cast, isn't it?
Sure is. Sure is.
You know, definitely one of those days where you need to be here because you know you can sweat matches on every table.
Exactly, and you know there's going to be, like right now there's 4 tables going, and you can only get to watch one on the live stream. So if you're at Freezers, you get to watch 1 of 4 matches, or 2 or 3 of them if you're back around the tables. You can watch 2 at a time.
Yes, yes.
We're at Freezers Icehouse in Tempe, Arizona. The food's great. The beer's cold. The company's great. I mean, there isn't one negative thing to say about this place.
No, and
it's been awesome.
Now we've got the now we got the talent here too, and that's it just multiplies it. It just makes it all the more. Gives you all the more reason to want to be here or want to be just watching this.
Just watching. Daniel, I've lived in Arizona all my life, and I've been playing pool since I was 15 years old. I'm now 66. This is the highest, the best accumulation of pool talent in Arizona since about 1989. There was a Camel Tour tournament at Scottsdale in Marriott Scottsdale.
Yeah.
And other than that, I'm telling you, the talent here today is outstanding.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that because I've been sort of told by a few people, and I just take it as hearsay usually, and it's never really confirmed officially, but I've been told that this is the biggest tournament that Arizona's ever seen for pool, and with you here. And so much experience in the Arizona area. This pretty much confirms it.
Sure.
So we're really proud to be here and honored to be here too. This
is awesome for you. This is awesome for Freezers Icehouse and for Arizona.
Yeah, for the area, which is a burgeoning pool scene here in Arizona.
One of the big
and 3-cushion billiards too, by the way,
which you've been doing a lot
is
of
expanding.
That. Down in Tucson at Casino del Sol, they've been doing a great job sponsoring that. But having the Icehouse here and having Scott Frost here, a lot of these players are here because of him. They come down to play in this tournament because out of respect for Scott.
Yeah.
And he's able to get sponsors to do that too.
Scott's done a phenomenal job. He really has promoted this hard, and the management here have pulled all the stops.
Oh, what
to
a
make
nice
this
shot
place.
by Chris!
Now,
what a nice shot.
Let's get to this talent here. Chris Robinson is he's one of those special players to me because we kind of started streaming him when he was just starting out, only like 17, 18, 16 years old. Now he's like 22. He's sponsored. He's got, he's got 4 or 5 sponsors. He's now been selected. In fact, this match is cool because these 2 players have been selected to as part of the lineup for the Moscone Cup that's coming up. They're one of 14 players that are sort of currently going through a selection process.
Correct.
Chip Compton, almost ubiquitous with the game of one pocket.
Oh, for years.
And,
what a nice shot. And that was lined up just perfect for him to do that, but he's given up a bank on the 1. But, you had to give up something there. He took 3 balls out of his hole. So let's see if Chip can just bank this in and slide up for shape on the 4. But, yeah, both players are there's 2 of 14 players that have been selected for the Moscone Cup. Actually not selected, but mentioned for it.
Considered.
Considered.
Yeah.
They're being considered.
Yeah.
After some boot camps and workouts, and then the coach will select his players. And so they're playing each other right here. So they've both been to one boot camp, I believe, where they had some drills, and they were assessed by, is it Johan?
Yes. Johan Roisnik.
Roisnik,
Yeah.
okay. Coach for the U.S. team. And I really love what they're doing with that this year. I don't know, I've heard several people, kick it back and forth on how they want it handled. I think this will breed a new blood into it.
Yeah, it'll be new. It'll be all new.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
A lot of young guns.
They're standing right next to us, so I don't want to shock them.
Mm-hmm. Banking the 5. Looks like he's banking the 5 ball. Oh, he wanted to hit more of that 11 ball because he didn't want to leave it.
Yeah. He put Chip to the test here. I don't think Chip's going to play this 11.
I don't know if he has a choice. If he plays the 11, he's got some balls he can run. If he's sure he can make this, he can get shape on the 14 ball. He can come down for the 9. He could kick. I'm not sure if he can see the bottom rail to kick the 12 ball up or take it out. So he might be forced to shoot it. No, he's going the safe route. Well, it's not safe because, just because he's trying to take it out doesn't mean he will succeed and not give up another shot. There's so many options in one pocket. It's just you can get 5 players, and 5 players will give you 5 different shots as to what they would shoot. That should be in. Didn't quite get shape, but he's got a better angle on the 12 if he chooses to take it out.
Well, he thought about it, and he just decided, you know what?
He's going for it.
I feel good.
The problem, if he shoots the 14, he may not have shape on another ball, but he might be better positioned to get out of a trap. It's not really in a trap per se, because he can remove the ball now, but doesn't. Yeah, he's going to play it. He's going to play the 14 and try to come down to the bottom rail to bank the 12. This isn't a gimme.
Well, and it carries some risk.
He's drawn. Yeah, he's drawn the ball. He's drawn the ball to the side rail and down to the bottom rail.
He hit that pure.
He liked to come down further. He hit that very, very nice. Might just bank the 8 here.
I think Chris played a good shot. He just scuffled on into that 11 ball.
Yeah, he was trying to hit that 11 ball full when he banked the 5, and he just kind of nibbled it, and the cue ball leaked out on him, gave him a shot. Boy, what a lineup here of players we have. Guys, for those of you that are not here, we have Alex Pagalayan, Dennis Orcoyo, Jeffrey DeLuna, Warren Kiamko, Brandon Schuff,
Tony
Chohan, Josh Roberts. It's a who's who.
And we haven't even started the 10 ball yet.
That's right,
George.
And there was only 51 players in the one pocket. We have 10 ball players. We have Ruslan Chenikov,
Klent, Kachi, From Albania.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
We have Omar Al-Shaheen from Kuwait. Mitchell just came down for the 10 ball. Didn't get in the one pocket, which surprised me. Another Moscone Cup pick. Look at this kick. And he made it.
Very nice.
And look at his cue ball. Now, they always say do not kick balls in one pocket. There's times that, you know, a kick is the right shot.
Yeah, I think it was.
Look what it just got him off to.
Super Stroke. I forgot his first name. Super Stroke Steve, maybe? He said to me, you know, nowadays the new pool is about who kicks the best. You know? How good do you kick?
Well, you know, there's times even if you don't kick real good, when the balls are laying correctly or they're laying good, and if you make contact, of course, you're going to end up in a good place.
Chris is off and running with
Yeah,
4 balls.
Will he play shape on the 13 next? Because I don't think anything down here goes. Yep.
Came out.
And now you'll stun up for the 10, more than likely. Oh, he's against the rail. It's going to look tougher to stun. He's following. Okay. I agree.
He could play for this bank on the 12, maybe, which is down by the stack.
He's trying to see how close he's going to come to the side pocket. If he was off the rail, you know, like 3 inches to the right of where it is now, I'm sure he would play position for the 10, or attempt to play position for the 10, but the angle wouldn't be there. He pockets balls very well. Shoots good, shoots straight. And you were correct. There goes the 12 ball next. You'll just try to stun the cue ball right there and stop it right there for to protect the ball, and use pocket speed to keep the ball in front of the hole. There you go. He might have given up a shot on the 6 ball. Since the 12 ball is not in play, he can have the 6 ball and then get shape on the 7 or the 9.
So hard not to sell out, you know, when you're, especially when you're off and running, you've got a good run of balls, you feel comfortable. When you're 6 ahead, it's really important to keep your head down and, you know, not let up, you know. You've got to still play tight sometimes.
I lost a couple of games yesterday because I was 7-2 and lost a game, and I lost the match on that one. Nice shot. Look at the speed on this ball.
Well, that's as good as in.
He'll more than likely just pocket the 6 and leave the cue ball there. I don't see him doing anything outrageous, so.
Doesn't really need to.
No.
Nothing really banks from that perspective.
Nope. He can't. He doesn't have anything offensive to shoot here. He might just. I don't know if he'll try to move the 12, but I think he would play with the 10 ball. He doesn't want to touch the 9-7. I don't think. But like I said, there's many options in one pocket, and every player has his own because they all have different abilities, different strengths, different weaknesses, and one pocket will play to all that. Your strengths, you'll play to your strengths usually and try to avoid your weaknesses. I see him just hitting this 10 ball to the other side to give himself a bank and just leaving the cue ball on the rail. Which doesn't really accomplish much, but it gets him out of the situation.
It might be good just to lag that 10, but you don't want to leave Chris a 2-railer on the 10.
He's doing something with this 9-7.
Oh,
ouch. Ouch.
Yeah, that's such an incredibly hard shot.
See, I rarely say this when I disagree with a player's choice shot selection. Those balls played to his hole. They did not play to Chris's hole.
No,
you're
right.
Chip's
That's
hole.
a good point,
and
George.
I would have left those balls. I would have moved the 10 or kicked the 12 out. But kicking the 12 out was crazy. And he should lose this game here because making these 2 balls. shouldn't come real hard. In fact, he's conceded the game, and Chris Robinson gets the first game in a race to 3. All important.
Yes.
The one good thing about winning your lag in a short race like this, which Chip did, is if it goes hill-hill, you got the break. So that lag is important. You want that break. In one pocket, the break is usually a 1 to a 1.5 ball advantage. Against players of this caliber, that gets cut down considerable, but a really good break will take a player 3 or 4 shots to get out of.
Yeah, that's, it's the first phase of the game.
The break's important.
It almost dictates the way the game's going to be played, whether or not you're going to be spending the whole game.
Yeah, a
in
good
defense
break changes
or,
everything. A player has to sit there and say, all right, how do I get out of this break? How do I turn it around? And I mean, sometimes you have to contend with 3 and 4 balls to move, and it takes you 2 or 3 shots to move them. Or one quick one and turns everything around. Those are usually very risky.
See how this break.
He breaks pretty decent.
Works out.
I played him yesterday, actually.
Did you really?
He took me out of the tournament. That's a pretty good break.
Well, you didn't share that.
I just did. He beat me 3-0. I think I reached my limit of play yesterday. He played very well, and I did not, so it made for a lopsided match, which he enjoyed, to my displeasure.
Well, here comes Chip.
He's in trouble here. This is a good break, because if he plays off the 11, which is the only ball he can see down there, the 14's there for a bank. So
he can't see the 7 ball.
He can slide off the 14 and get against the rail to get up by the 7. But if he comes out too far, the 4 ball can be cut in, and he can come up around the 7. So he's just going to play this and get up to the rail. That's about it.
That was enough to prevent Chris from cutting the 4.
And takes away the top part of the table, because he has to contend. He has to deal with the 14 ball. He's limited here. He can go rail first and bank the 14 over. Kind of like that. Very, very, very well done.
You hit that very well.
Yeah.
At this juncture, I would imagine Chip is realizing what kind of a match he's in.
Yeah, he's in big trouble here. This can easily lead the path for Chris to go ahead 2-0 in a race of 3. Because this shot is so telling for this game.
I tell you, recently I noticed a couple of months ago, I think I saw a Facebook post from Chris. He's really determined to be one of the best in the world. He really wants to be. Well, he wants to be a world champion.
Well, his composure's good. His attitude seems real good.
You know what? He's got the ice in his veins right now.
Yeah.
I can tell. I can see it. And I've known him now for about 5 years. And I want to also give a shout out to Jerry Matchin, who was basically Chris was his protege.
Okay.
For quite some time in Ventura. Chris still lives in Ventura. And
yeah, and in your interview this morning with Chris,
wow.
See, that is something I see from a lot of players now, is when they're dead trapped like this, they look for something.
They gotta go.
And they have to gamble, because they don't stand to lose anything. And you got to get balls by your hole somehow, some way. Chip was actually unfortunate for that 10 ball not to come up for a shot.
Well, you notice how when you hit that side of the stack, you want to hit it hard because you want to send balls back one rail over. But in this case, it just didn't work out for him.
No, he didn't hit it hard enough. Yeah, sometimes the players will stand right next to us, so we have to be real quiet. Chip was standing about 2 feet in front of me. We're about 8 feet from the table, maybe 9 feet from the table, right at the footboard, the foot of the table. So Chip was looking at this what he has to deal with, and standing about 2 feet in front of me, so we're real quiet when that happens. So he's going to have to play some balls into this and hopefully take that 4 out, make the 10, make the ball in front of the hole, and have it come out and kill the cue ball on the bottom rail. Let's see what he might be playing the 10 ball with the cue ball. Kind of like that.
Kind of like that, George.
And now he's got Chris has a shot on the ball by the foot rail or the 11 ball, which is on the spot. These are the kind of shots that sometimes some of your real amateurish players will take, thinking they've got a straight-in shot, and they don't pay attention to it because they've got it easy, and they miss it, and all of a sudden the other player has the ball in front of his hole,
Yeah.
and they do just outstanding things to try to win the game.
George, I had to just interject here. I don't know why Chip just didn't decide to lag the cue ball up table. There was so much traffic in front of Chris's pocket.
You know, you do see some of the greats like Efren, Francisco Bustamante, a lot of these guys do something like that. It's a very good interjection, a very good point. He could have just gone up table with it. He did have a ball in the jaws, and he could have gone rail first, but a lot of it depended on where he put the cue ball.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Did he even look? I mean, I just don't even think he looked. You know,
no,
so.
He didn't. He never looked up table. Look at this getting on this 9 ball.
Oh yeah,
that's nice.
Oh, Chris, I played one pocket with Chris 2 years ago, and he crushed me. Just crushed me. I played him like a race to 7. He beat me like 7-2 or something.
Oh, at least you won a couple games.
You mean he let me win a couple?
Well, yeah, there is that point, but no, usually they try to win. You try to win.
He's using a Jerry McWhorter cue.
One of his sponsors, yeah. Beautiful cue. Saw it last night.
Yeah, Jerry McWhorter is,
Look at this.
For a long time,
Yeah,
I've admired those cues for years. It's nice to see Jerry getting involved with player relations.
I wonder if he's even looking at banking the 10 into the 215 and have it slide off of there to open everything up and get the cue ball up. He's got a straightforward bank.
Yeah, I think it's best to just take the clean bank.
Sure.
At this point, Chris has the upper hand.
And there's a 6 ball if he would have made that. So what does Chip do here? Just make the 10 and continue to just fight it out? Hoping for a mistake really is what you're doing here.
Tough to play a takeout here, especially with so much strength to Chris's side.
That cue ball can end up in front of his own hole.
He had room. He had room
to get
yeah.
behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. See, here's where I would like to just send the 10 ball up table and try to put the cue ball behind the 4. But either way, what he's going to try to prevent Chip from coming to the bottom rail and kicking up the ball in front of the 2 ball. There's 2 balls by the hole. He'll just probably either try to take them out or just kick them up slowly.
Yeah, Chris really didn't pull it off there.
No, he had to get up a little higher, but still he would have had the same shot.
Well, Chip's got options, but if he opens up those balls and he leaves a shot for the 10 ball, no, I don't think Chris would take that on with those 3 balls up and by the side pocket.
Things are a little, jumbled up. I don't think it's for Chip to move. If he can find a way to put a ball in front of his hole, he might force Chris to remove it and get an opening to move, do something offensive. But see, this was expected, and he's done a good job.
Good. That was a good hit.
And he's up against the deuce.
He contained it.
Deuce, yeah.
However, he has opened up the balls now.
Yes. Now he can't use the top of the table to play safe. There's balls open. He's going to try to lay this up. No, he's just going to come down here. And now this plays into Chip's hands. He can start removing balls.
Yeah, these guys aren't. You know, my friend Box Patterson, he said, sometimes you got to play this game with your legs. You got to walk around, looking at everything.
I've heard Box do commentary with you, especially one pocket commentary. I like his commentary. He does a good job. Yeah, you got to walk around and see things. Look at this. If he gets him against the 14, it's perfect. Oh, but 4, excuse me. Oh, he leaked it out just a hair.
It did leak out, didn't it? This opens the door for Chip big time, actually. I think the 3 goes, and the 1 and the 14.
Right.
This is like a...
All 4 of those balls might go. This is what Chip was waiting for.
Yep, the lunch buffet.
Yeah. Some kind of a mistake. Some kind of an opening where he can do something offensive. Because if he puts him against the 4... you know, it changes everything. He's got to get down on the bottom rail again. And
got lots of options now.
Yeah, great chance to steal the game.
He might be on the wrong side of this 3.
He can come back to the same position, but he's planning to play the 14 probably, or the 5, if the 5 goes. That didn't work out for him.
He's got to play a very difficult shot now. I don't think.
Well,
there's the 5.
The problem is that the side pocket looms in his near future. He's playing the 6 ball, and he should split the 15 too, just like that. But his run's over. But he got out of a terrible situation with balls in his pocket. So that worked out fantastic for him. That one little error by Chris to leave the 4 ball turned that whole game around.
Yeah, he's back in this match now.
Yep. Now it's 4 balls to 3. Chip leads in the ball count. He's down 1 game to 0 in a race to 3. Chris is going to bank this 10 ball. He's going to leave a 7. He has no choice but to leave the 7. Oh. Well, he didn't leave the 7. That's the good part. Now does the 3 go? But, you know, even the shot he just shot is a good shot for a couple of reasons. Number one, he's trying to leave the cue ball on the head rail, give him a long shot on the 7. But he's trying to lag the 10 ball right in front of his hole, which, you know, so he's lost this game on that shot.
Yeah.
His last 2 shots lost him this game.
Well, he kind of just missing that ball. He's showing a couple chinks in his armor, you know.
Well, actually, the only chink that showed up was missing that 10 ball the way he did. As far as getting by the 4, that's just a 1/8 of an inch. He could have bumped the 4 and left nothing, and then behind it.
Yeah.
But instead, it sold it out, and it wasn't really a sellout. It was left a difficult shot, but makeable shot. And
this is the West Coast swing, guys. This is Freezer's Icehouse 1 pocket challenge in Tempe, Arizona. We're open for spectators. Come on down. The bar and the kitchen's open. I want to thank West 8 Billiards and all the cue makers that stepped up for the Cue Maker Showcase, which is going to be rolling out tomorrow. So be sure to come out tomorrow and check out some of the cues that are on display. I want to thank KD Cues, also Carmelli Cues, Cohen Cues, and Tiger Products. Also, want to remind you guys to pick up a West Coast Swing t-shirt here at the venue. Thanks to Big Time Threads. And if you are out of the area and you want to buy one online, you can go to bigtimethreads.com/limited-edition-merch. And we also want to thank John Barton of JB Cases. JB Cases also sponsors Chip Compton, along with Chip Compton's other sponsors. He's sponsored by 2 Rooms, Club Billiards in Wichita, Kansas, and The Bridge in Edmond, Oklahoma. He likes to get around.
I actually have a JB case. It's a 4x8, beautiful leather case. Great case.
Oh, yeah. you know, I just haven't seen another case that provides protection the way JB's do. So I think he's really perfected his craft, thanks to John Barton. Also, Chip has 2 cue sponsors, Durbin Custom Cues, and Hand Shoe Jump Cues. And I want to congratulate Chip. He just won the Oklahoma State 8-ball championship at Magoo's.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yep.
In Tulsa. So, shout out to all you guys at Magoo's.
Trying to bring the bracket up so I can tell you exactly who these guys have played.
Yeah, actually, I can do that too.
Okay.
I've got access to the bracket.
Right there. Awesome. I have to get my phone out and pull it up on Facebook.
Would have been good to get this, but now Chip is back, so we'll do it after this game or when we see a moment.
I can tell you that Chris Robinson's game before this one was on the one-loss side against me. Oh, that almost scratched. So I know that part of his game. I believe he also played, I think it was Rudy Alameda out of Tucson, Arizona, and gave Rudy his first loss or his second loss. Put him out one or the other. I'm not sure. We'll look on the bracket and let you know for sure.
Mm-hmm. I can also just tell you orally here.
Oh, I also know who put Chris in the loser's bracket. That was Andy Kasher out of Tucson, Arizona. He did a fine job. Andy's a great player out of Tucson.
So Chip comes by way of he defeated Chip. He defeated Max Eberly 3-1, and defeated Bobby Emmons 3-1.
Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, Bobby's recovering from a motorcycle accident. So.
Yes. Defeated Mike Pankoff 3-2, and he lost to who?
Andy Kasher.
Andy Kasher. Chris comes by way of our good friend George here, George Teyachea. But before that...
No, Andy defeated Chris, not Chip. You were just talking about Chip.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. It's either on the right where you beat me?
Yes, right here.
No, down, over right there.
Yeah, right there. And then they would be here too, right, up top.
I'm not sure where he is on the bracket there.
There he goes. His first match was with John Fenwick. He won 3-1, and then went on to beat Rudy Alameda 3-0. Then went on and lost to Andy Couture, who Andy went on to play Alex Pagulayan. He's going on to play Alex Pagulayan right now. So he's had one victory on the one-loss side against George here. So what are we looking at here?
I don't think you can play the 10 ball unless the 6 ball pushes the 5 right into it, which is what he's looking at right now. I think he can see the 4. I'm not sure. If he can see the 4, he might do something with the 2 ball. But he's looking at this 11 ball like he wants to play it and bring the cue ball down for. There's no real position. He'll be really able to get out of trouble. So he's got to focus on making this ball. And focus he did, and make it he did.
My goodness.
Nice shot.
That's a duck to him. And he could look at this cue ball, too. He would have been safe on Chip.
Yeah. Well, Chip would have had 1 ball shot. Yeah. Played the 2 ball off the 14 and push balls to Chris's pocket.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have played that. But he must have a shot here. Oh, he had a dead one up on top there.
Holy moly.
But he's got a mess in front of his pocket.
Yeah, too much traffic.
Yep, too much traffic. He's got too many balls jumbled up in front of it. He's got 5, 7. He's got 9 balls in front of his hole. And there's only 2 in front of Chip, so he's got to do something about that. But he's concerned with, you know, that 2 ball and the 14 they loom big. He might take out the 2, thin it, and then hit the 14 from underneath and move that out. Cue ball could slide away and maybe sell out the 1 on that shot, though. So. Let's see what he plays here. He doesn't have an offensive shot. Too much traffic. Yeah, he wants to thin this real thin and push the 14 over to the right, and the cue ball goes up by the 15.
The shot has a lot of wow.
Yeah,
it was a good hit.
The good speed.
Yeah,
the speed is so important there. Watch Chip either take all these balls out or 2 rail the 1 ball and slide the cue ball to the rail.
That's a good shot, George. He's just got to be careful, because if he slides into the 5, he might sell out the 10, which is next to that cluster.
Oh, he's gonna. If he can execute this shot, and if he makes it, let's put it this way, he might be able to remove all those balls in front of Chris's hole. If he can get to the rail and make this ball. Speed is key. Speed of the cue ball, speed of the object ball. He's not shooting it, he's shooting something else.
Shot the 4.
His cue ball is good.
No, his cue ball was not that good, I don't think, George. He got a kind of a lucky roll there, actually, because you know, he could have wired the 2 to the rail or something. You know, he could have got an easy clear bank to the 2 to bump into that cluster. He can slide. He's got a clear shot at the 4, I think, too, George. So he could do something there.
Put him over there. Right now, if I'm Chris, I want to take away the opportunity to kick to the side rail into the 10, which is on the foot rail, softly or even hard. I want to take that away. I'd like to shoot this 1 ball and push it up and leave the cue ball on the bottom rail. And he's trying to figure out where the best place to leave the cue ball is right here. I think he's already decided what he's going to shoot. It's nothing offensive. It's all defense here. He's going to put it up against the 10. He's going to draw straight down to the 10. Just like this,
Yeah, I like that shot.
It'd have been much nicer if you could have put him up against the 10.
Yeah. Chip's gonna hit this 13 now. He's gonna punish Chris. See, that was so important for Chris to
take that away.
To be on the rail.
Oh yes.
If he was on the rail, Chip wouldn't be shooting this shot right now.
This is trouble.
That's what I was telling you about earlier. That 10 ball slid into the 5.
I didn't see that happening. I just thought he'd have better cue ball control than to put it there. This was Chip's break, and if Chris can steal this away, he's breaking for the win at 2-1.
You're right.
Up for the 1 and the 9, and that'll give him 4. That'll give him 6. See, the balls just don't lay right for Chris here. He's gonna have to influence his shot after these next 2.
Good roll on that 1 ball. even if that didn't go, just love the way he shot it. You know,
the speed. Sure. Up against the 10 again. Yep.
I think that's actually the 14.
Oh, is that what it is? Just the bottom on the ball in the bottom.
But that's okay. You can still be colorblind and play one pocket.
Well, I'm looking at the table, and all I see is the white part of the ball. I don't see the color. And he's banked this ball. Will he hit the 4 ball? Yep.
It's just challenging because we get copyright notices from the record companies, and they block our.
He's looking at maybe pushing this 5 ball in front of the hole and leaving it up against the 10. He's got to be careful not to push the 10 and give him a shot. Give Chip a shot.
Morning. Rick Schmidt is here.
Our premier photographer for Arizona.
Great guy, really nice guy too.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Does great work with all his player photos and canvas. He's got these canvas big 2 foot by 3 foot or 2 foot by 1 foot canvas portraits of players in a shooting position. Just great for your playroom.
Actually, he should share a link with me, and I'll share it back to you guys. I should just ask him when I get a chance when he comes back up here. You know, I agree with George. Just very, very talented. Very, very good work.
He attends all the Diamond Pool Tour tournaments, big events, and he takes pictures of players and when they're doing what they love to do. You'll see some killer eye photos. I mean, just great work. That's nicely done. If that cue ball is froze, Chip is in a lot of trouble. That rail is no good to him for the cue ball. Good hit.
Yeah.
And now he's frozen the cue ball, which means that Chris has to hit another rail other than the foot rail.
Yeah.
And all he's facing is a scratch off the 5. Is this a good place for an intentional?
Well, no. What he's got to watch out. Okay.
Oh, he kicked out of there altogether. Just don't come up and give him a shot. There you go. Oof. It was an intentional.
I don't. Yeah.
He didn't hit the.
Don't know where he wanted his cue ball there, but that's a good spot for it. That's for sure.
That's a great spot for it. And he's gonna be back in the same spot. Oh no. Chip's a little disgusted with that. He wanted to put it underneath the 5.
Yeah, I feel like there's a little adrenaline going on with him or something.
Back up against the 8 probably. Now see, when shots like that, what he's trying to do is put that against the rail and the 8 at the same time.
Yeah.
Because he does not want to find himself in this position again. Although this time he has a shot. He can get to the other side.
He can kick this actually.
Yeah.
This is if he wants to.
Okay.
See, Chip's got to worry. If he leaves something dead, Chris will just kick it.
I think he just did, and I don't think Chris saw it. Yeah, he's kicking it.
And likewise the same way, both ways.
Yep.
We're playing tiddlywinks, George. How do you like that? How do you like that game?
For a shot.
We're playing jacks. Well, that's good for Chris. He's extracted 1.
He leads in the ball count 4-0. Chris does. That's very important here. And I see here is he's in a good place. Chip's put him in a good place where this next shot dictates how this will go. He doesn't have much of a safety. So he has to remove his own balls from the hole.
Yeah.
Otherwise, either side that he went to, he's going to give up a bank shot or a takeout.
We're going up table, George.
Yep. Another one of Chip's sponsors is Club Billiards in Wichita. It's an old school pool hall. Shirt he's wearing.
You been there?
No, never have. One of the pool halls I've been to are in Arizona. A couple in one in San Francisco. Family Billiards. Of course, Hard Times.
Yeah.
A few times. I don't get out and play very much. I pretty much stay in Arizona.
So where's your buddy that came with you to Hard Times that time I met
Carl?
you?
Carl Mikowski?
Yeah.
I play with him once or twice a week. He's not here. He couldn't make it up, but he's.
Did you ever guys recover from that queue incident?
No. Our insurance took care of us.
Okay, good.
Our insurance took care of us.
I won't go into detail,
No.
but
It was not a good experience.
yeah, and I felt terrible because you were coming to visit us, you know.
Mm-hmm. Now see here, this cue ball should be on the bottom rail, against the rail. Anytime you leave a shot, you should leave the cue ball. Anytime you leave the table, you should leave the cue ball against the rail. Take away the top part of the cue ball from your opponent. Oh, this is nice. See, it's close to a rail, close to a ball, treetop somewhere where they can't use draw, where they can't control the ball the way they'd like to. Now this, of course, you understand that ball's going to hit a rail. That cue ball should be against the rail. So important.
This 4 ball's makeable.
Yeah, but that 15 might not save him. See, he could have hit the rail first and possibly scratched. He could have hit it full and followed it in. He took a little risk. He's shooting either the 14 or the 6. I think he wants to shoot at his hole.
Yeah, of course he does, but he's you gotta watch out the 9 ball, 4 ball. Those are all possibilities for Chris down the line. Even that 15 ball can be 2 railed or 1 railed depending on where the cue ball lands.
Now see, this is important here. Will he shoot the 4 ball?
Or take it out.
Or take out this ball, or just make the ball for him? He's ahead in the ball count.
He's looking at the 4. Yeah.
Well, he's looking at his options. Is there something to shoot after the 4? Yes, the 9 ball can be shot after the 4. So if he stands to get 2 balls and get the 6, this works for him.
He's going.
If he only had 1 ball, then it wouldn't be in his interest to shoot this 4 ball. Missed it.
Oh gosh, he did miss it. Missed it pretty bad. And now he's given a bank. This is a great chance for Chip.
Yeah.
He can.
Yep. See, when you shoot shots like that, you want to shoot them with the speed that gets them out of the vicinity, so that when they make this 14 ball, they don't have an easy bank. You know, he still had his shape. He still had everything. And
okay, that was okay. He's playing across.
He's playing across and run the cue ball up. Careful hitting that 9 ball. He wants to be careful hitting the 9 ball. If that's what he's attempting to do.
Chip's on the board.
Yes. Doesn't owe
4 to
any
1.
either. That's good. 4 balls to 1. See, that's what he didn't want to do. He's got to be careful hitting the 9 ball.
Goodness gracious!
That's exactly why I said that. He came at it from the inside, and that hurts. Now here's where you can tell how confident the player is. You know, will he shoot this 9 ball? Take out the ball? Will he shoot the spot shot and remove the ball with the cue ball in front of his opponent's pocket? Will he get shape on the 14, or will he come down for the bank? All options to consider. And he's going to take the first 2 balls and come down for a bank on the 4. That's in front of Chip's pocket, or maybe even play shape for it. He's got the angle if he can lay it on the rail. That'd be a great shot. They just stun over and leave the ball against the rail straight in on the 4. Greater if he gave himself an angle to run up for the 5. He doesn't need it. Just needs. Well, he needs 3 balls. He needs these 2 and 1 more.
Yeah.
If he shoots this hard, he could get shape on a 5. These pockets are 4 and 8. This is a tight table. The humidity in Tempe is high right now. They're having their summer storms, and there's a lot of humidity. This place is very well air conditioned, but there's so much humidity in the air outside that it is hard for these units to keep up with their job. And that puts them on 7 balls.
Yeah,
and
Chris
then look
needs
at
one.
Yeah, just look at all these balls on the right side of the table.
Mm-hmm.
Good old kind of a wedge, semi-wedge.
Actually, the wedge favors Chip.
Yes.
A wedge on
Yes.
that side of the table favors Chip.
Mm-hmm.
I got into a game with Danny Shades once down at Santa Monica Billiards. We had a wedge. The score was 0-0. We had a wedge all the way up in the corner, just like this, all balls, right? He looks at me, he says, "You want to just re-rack and start this game
Pretty
over?"
much.
I said, "Well, no, I got that pocket."
See, I've always
It took
wondered,
me about 8 minutes. I won that game.
I've always won 8 minutes or 80 minutes.
No, 8 minutes.
Wow.
We ended up, something happened. I brought
Okay.
balls down the table, but yeah. I mean, the wedge up in that corner favors the opposite pocket.
Oh, okay.
That pocket.
Correct. I got you. So then the wedge on the right side of the table would favor Chip's pocket. Is what
Yes.
you're saying. Okay. See, I always wondered which one favored which. In other words, if you're the player, do you want the wedge on your side of the table or on your opponent's side of the table? I'm thinking what you're saying is the opponent's side of the table.
Yes.
So if you make a ball, you'll have a spot shot.
Yeah.
But usually, if you make one, they'll make one immediately, so it takes that advantage away. And now you're just lining balls up. If there's no wedge on your side of the table, and you put any balls over there, now you have balls that bank to your hole, but they won't bank to your opponent's.
Right.
So that's why I've always wondered which side is better to have the wedge.
Yeah. I wasn't actually aware of that until I was in that situation with Danny, and I actually had to think about it and look at it, and I was like, wait a minute.
Now see, he's broken the ball loose. Game ball for Chris here is banked his 3-ball. He's got to hit it with pocket speed so he doesn't give up a return bank. Made it. Looks pretty close. Is it in?
No.
No, just off. No return bank though. Kicked it very, very well. Good speed on this. Good speed. Now, do you like to pocket this ball, Daniel? I like to pocket this ball. Just play with one.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. He needs 8 balls.
That's why if I get a ball down here, my opponent has to shoot at it on the spot. Right here, he can open up something, and you left the bank shot for your opponent on his side. That's why I like to pocket that ball. Now, see, had he made this, the 3-ball banks. And he can just... This is a tough shot. This has a double kiss, I think, if he tries to bank. He's kicking it out. He's
He
going to kick
needs
it
to
out.
take it out, but he's got to watch out he doesn't leave the 3-ball.
If he stops the ball dead, no, he's okay.
He's all right.
It's going to go in.
Well, hold on.
It's going to go in. No shot.
Actually, those kicks are very important.
Yes.
Because you can accidentally make the ball.
It goes in the side a lot of the times. And your cue ball slides up, and you give your opponent a bank.
Chip is taking it on.
Yeah, he has to. You know the old saying, when you're behind, play like a lion. When you're
ahead, play like a lamb. Yeah.
But he's lambed himself out here. He's left the straight in shot on the 2-ball for case ball for Chris. This is just make the ball, and you're up at 2-1. But sometimes that's easier said than done. I don't see much choice here, but fortunately I think everything's behind. No. Can't tell what ball is out up there, but he has to make it in scratch or shoot the 13 if it's out. Yeah, it's got to come off the table. Nope, game's over. 2-1. And it's Chris's break. pretty good match.
Yeah, not bad. They
Two possible.
They seem evenly matched in a way. Chip's fumbled a little bit more than Chris has.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see how these guys would fare in a long session.
In a long session. Well, the experience definitely goes to Chip. When you start weighing their strengths and weaknesses, the experience would go to Chip as far as his one pocket abilities. Chris shoots good. So does Chip. They both, they both shoot well. In a long session, I'd have to go with
favorite Chip.
I'd have to favor Chip.
I don't know.
Reputation-wise.
Reputation-wise, I agree, but I wouldn't count this Chris out.
No, not at all. He's going to have to slide off the 7 or the 15 and get underneath behind the 5-2. And again, he's just you can't get anything over to keep him from banking the 12.
Yeah, Chris is breaking well.
Yeah. He'll probably go underneath this 5. Chip has made a good shot here. He came up just high enough so he can't see the balls on the bottom rail behind the 5. And so he's going to bank the ball. Just slide out under it. There you go, just like that. Oh, let's hope that didn't line up. It's lined up. Chip's looking at it now. Well, Daniel's going to step out for a little bit, and you're going to be stuck with me, guys.
Thank you.
He's going underneath again, trying to get right up against the deuce. See, he's giving up a shot here. If it's dead to Chip's hole, it might be dead to Chris's hole, so he can kick the 7 ball. I would take a look at kicking the 7 ball. Nice shot. He's hit that very, very, very well. It may not go in, but it's going to be so close. Wow. On a regular pocket table with 4.5-inch pockets, that probably would have slid in. On these tight tables, not so much. I get to sit in the booth with Geraldine. That's a first.
Good afternoon, George.
Welcome, young lady. Finally, I've known you for a couple of years now, and finally get to sit in the booth with you, and Daniel, for that matter. Yeah, he's back to kicking this 15. Got to do it softly, though, not hard. Nicely done. He did that with perfect speed. That 2 ball looms very, very big. This is all he can do is just try to leave it on the rail. Chris will do basically the same thing. Go to the rail. Probably try to come back to the very same spot. Oh, he went up. Well, this kind of freeze doesn't really free him up much. I was going to say this frees him up to do something with the 15, but he can barely see the 15. You can see the middle of it. He can't see the side of it. So this is tough. You've had a long week of pool, haven't you? The week here and the week in California just prior to this.
Correct.
Beautiful tournaments with the West Coast swing. Great job up there. It was awesome.
It keeps us out of the heat.
In air-conditioned buildings, yes it does. Yeah, that's a big plus right now.
I'm not gonna lie. The reason why I started playing pool was because I didn't like to be in the heat.
And I've lived in Arizona all my life, and I'm telling you, oh, look at this shot. Nice. Brought all the balls over in front of his hole, protected him. Chip can cut the 15 ball, though. But yes, pool is an indoor sport, especially in the summertime, and air conditioning is everything. Not like when you're out here in Arizona, the temperatures reach 110, and you're not out playing golf in the middle of the day. Well, there's a few people that are, but they're crazy.
It's from my understanding that a lot of the players who play, let's say, on the East Coast or Midwest, they go more during the winter because of the weather.
Because of the weather, sure. It's warm, It's indoors. This is the great sport for indoors. And unfortunately, some people don't call it a sport, they call it a game, which leads to other conversations. But, up against it, he left it just perfect. Anytime you want to leave this shot, you want to nuzzle it in against the rail and the ball. It makes it really limits your opponent to, hard shots. The old three-railer, look at this shot, folks. How nice that would have been if that cue ball would have froze to the head rail. Chip has got his work cut out here. He might bank this 5 and go into the... No, it's tough. But it looks like if he banks the 5 ball to his pocket, the cue ball hits the 13, comes under the deuce and hits that, but who knows where it goes afterwards. I'm not sure how much of the deuce he can see to try to just stop the cue ball there. Looks like he's shooting the 13 ball, stopping the cue ball there, right there. And, oh, that's the only thing. If he was on the other side of the 7, life is good. On that side, it works for Chris. Is that what you would have shot, Geraldine? Do you play one pocket?
It's my favorite game to watch.
Okay.
I do my best to play, but Daniel gives me a 20 to 5 spot.
Oh, interesting. Well, the only problem with one pocket for spectators is most don't understand it. One pocket players do, but like your general public that walks in the door, they don't understand what these guys are doing. It's not straight pool, it's not 8 ball, it's not 9 ball. What are they doing? Why didn't he shoot that? Because it's not his pocket. It's if more people understood one pocket, I can't see how more people wouldn't like it. When it's played properly. When it's played too slow, it'll bore. It's like watching paint dry.
Yeah, but we watched Bob Herchick yesterday, and I know people thought it was a bit long and grueling. But I appreciate the way he plays. And I told Daniel, there's something about his old school, up table, clicking the balls around until something comes up that I can appreciate. It's different. It's different from, let's say, Tony Chohan, the risk taker, the fast pace.
Exciting, 1 in 10 shots. Yeah, exactly. There's a big difference between old school. Did he get a rail? No rail. It's going to cost him one. But look at this cue ball. That's almost like taking an intentional there. He's opened up 2 balls to his pocket, and he's left them in a real tight spot. He'll probably come off the 1 and try to come in front of Chip's pocket and not sell out the 9 ball. That's about the only shot he really has here. I don't see anything else. He's got to be careful not to push the 1 down where he hits the 1. He might be trying to get up by the 14 after hitting the bottom rail. Oh, he hit the 10. He's a great shot. Great shot.
It is a great shot.
I don't think he can see the 10 ball to bank it. If he could, then the shot's not so great. Well, it's still a good shot to get out of there. Unfortunately, he's given up a shot. Looks like he has. Might not go in.
Nope.
That's these tight tables and the humidity will keep balls like that out. But that needed a little more speed and a little more accuracy. It hit the bottom rail, and once you hit the bottom rail on tables like this, it's not going in. But it's going to force your opponent to do this because it's not going out either. Will he spin this 14 ball back and play shape on the 9? He's got to elevate his cue. He had to spin that ball back. Those are tough shots. They are makeable, but I'm serious. You could probably take 10 shots at that and make it once or twice. Just going to 2-rail this out. Yep. He wants to open something. He's done. He's opened up the 3 ball that goes to his hole. Now the 4, 6, and 3, which are right above the spot, go to Chris's hole, but not to Chip's hole, which is the kind of rack that he wants here. Chip might be looking at 2-railing this 9 ball and trying to hold the cue ball, but he throws on the rail, which is exactly where you want to leave your opponent. And he's protected this 9 ball by getting the cue. Look at the speed he hit this with. Look at the speed. What a shot. I think he has to go to the rail and make it rail first to get rid of this 9. What a shot. And see, there's an example of how you can do everything right and your opponent can do something to turn around that rightness you just did. Chris did everything he could, left him on the rail, didn't leave much of a shot, and then Chip executed a great 2-railer with good speed on the cue ball and earned the ball. Ball count is 3-2, favoring Chris over Chip. The game count is 2-1, with Chris leading in the match. That was a good shot because those 3 balls went to Chip's hole and not to Chris's. He got rid of all of them except for the 8. And the cue ball. Notice where the cue ball is. The cue ball is always against a rail. Whenever you leave the table playing 1 pocket, you want to leave your cue ball against a rail or over a ball or behind a ball. So your opponent can't, they have to take, for lack of a better word, they have to take flyers like that one. You know, that even if he makes it, it's only 1 ball. They can't hurt you. He's got a nice 2-rail bank on the 14 on the right hand side of the table that would come over and leave the cue ball up high, but he would risk selling out the 8 if he hit it bad. Chris is doing a great job of not leaving Chip with many options. Not many options at all. And it has turned into an up-table game with the score ball count at 3-2, favoring Chris. And there's one more tied up on top. That's a good shot. You see what he was trying to do there? He stopped the cue ball on the spot and try to make the 9. If he makes the 9, he jacks him up. Good shot. Good foresight. Look, Chip's getting the cue ball on the rail. That's just where you want to be leaving. He wasn't doing that the first couple games. Yeah, nothing. Now you've got a kind of a wedge with 6 balls over on Chip's side. Get the 3, the 8, the 3 balls on the head rail. Meanwhile, Chris has 2 balls that'll bank to his hole, where Chip has 1. Shares one of those balls at 15 in the middle of the head rail. Cue ball. Whoa. He wasn't happy with that. He just kind of shook his head after he hit it because that cue ball was going towards that side pocket, and it gave him a little thrill. He's just going to push 15 out of the way, I believe. Take away a bank. Yep. Take away a bank. Although I believe the 15 still banks to Chip's hole. It's going to be close to hitting the 8. If he hits the 8, it goes to Chris's hole. He's not shooting it. He's probably going to pocket this 11 ball. If he pockets that, Chris should be fast to pocket another ball.
Well, hi George. I'm sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Had to step away. My mom's calling me long distance.
You got to take that birthday call, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take that birthday call.
Did you get my card? I said, no, Mom, I've been out of town. Where are you?
Is she from Boston, by the way?
We're from England.
England,
We're from Wales.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm originally from Great Britain.
How'd you lose the accent?
I was only 7 when we moved here.
Okay.
You know.
Because that usually stays with you. You know, if you're like 10, 12, 13. Or
Yeah, I was still in my preteen years, so
Okay.
I just kind of wanted to fit in with the crowd. I didn't want to stick out too much. So what am I missing?
Ball count's 3-2, favors Chris. The game count is 2-1, favors Chris. We got the little wedge we were talking about up on the right-hand side of the table.
Oh, this is the same game.
And that right side of the table is, no, this is a different game.
Oh, is it?
The last one was over. Now we got all the balls on the right side.
Oh, right, because Chris had 7-0 in the last game.
Mm-hmm. And so we've duplicated that game, but the ball count's very different. Chip still has some control here and input.
Well, I like that shot.
You know what I kind of like there, and it's kind of crazy?
Mm-hmm.
The cue ball was by about where the spot is. If he goes rail first and makes the 9, look where the cue ball ends up, and there's nothing.
Yeah, right behind the 2 and the 6.
Right behind the 2 and the 6. And there was nothing. See, now Chip has a ball that goes to his hole later. He can bank the 14 and bank the 15, but right now he has to contend with the 3 ball.
Well, you can bank the 3 now.
Yeah. A left-hander might consider banking that 14 and playing shape on the 3. That's how crazy I am.
Right, draw like a power draw.
Just power draw, exactly. Mm-hmm. If you don't get shape on the 3, you get shape on the 11.
I like the way he played this because he played into the 11, not into the pocket.
And he could have come out of that smelling like a rose if he could have got behind that 8 ball.
I think he's done well for himself. Look, he's covered the 11.
Oh, has he? Okay,
and
I wasn't sure if he's going to kick.
He has to kick into it.
This should give Chip a bank on the 15.
Has a nice.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, that's a good takeout.
He's covered up.
15 ball. Here we go.
15 ball.
Here we go. Here we go. He has to hit this good because if he doesn't, he opens up the 11 and the 13.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Problem is this cue ball goes to the side pocket. Comes over. Look at this. Nice speed.
It went in.
Oh yeah, it did. It just the speed was perfect.
Yep.
The pocket just accepted it.
And he's got a 2-railer on the 11.
Mm-hmm. And you can run right into the 13. Left the cue ball on the right side of the table along with his object ball so it didn't give up a bank. Up against the 3. Perfect. Perfect. Limit your opponent to nothing. They can do nothing. He'll probably come off of this. He's going to do the same thing. Stay on the bottom. Okay. You know, that's one of my weaknesses. I don't like shooting that.
You don't like this?
I don't like
you don't like this scenario?
Tap. No. I stay away from those.
Good to know. Good to know.
I didn't say I couldn't execute it. I said I don't like it.
Oh, okay.
It's a waste of time.
You think so?
But it's something you have to be able to do.
I had a friend back in the day said that eating food was a waste of time. I said, really?
No, and that one is good food.
Chris wants to go. You
yes,
can
he
see
does.
it.
He wants something to shoot at. He's tired of tippy tapping. Can he bank the 11?
He can. He can.
And he probably will.
It's open, but he's going to have to put this cue ball on the rail.
Well, the problem if he banks the 11 is that he could possibly sell out the 8.
I see that too. No, he's changed his mind.
Okay.
Just add to that cluster over there.
He actually, if he was like 100% accurate, he could probably bank this 11 ball. But if he misses by an eighth of an inch.
Wow, you mean between the three and the six?
Look at the angle. Look at the angle.
Yeah.
But you can't shoot it. I'm not suggesting you shoot the shot, folks. Don't get me wrong here. I'm just saying that if you have total confidence and total accuracy where you can hit it exactly where you're aiming, there was a shot there. But the margin for error was an eighth of an inch. If you can play that accurately, I don't want to even think about playing you, but I want to watch. See, he can't pocket the 9, gives up a ball. If he comes off the 8, he's got to come off hard enough so he doesn't get, or soft enough so he doesn't give up a shot on the 13.
So 14
is
not frozen.
Not frozen. He just singled Chris to say. Now see, I like making the 9 ball here.
Make the 9 and
yes,
and freeze behind the 14-8.
He puts a ball down where I'm in play. I'm ahead in the count. It favors me.
I wonder why he didn't consider it.
You know, that's something I've noticed. Most professional players that I watch play one pocket don't like to pocket balls up there. They just won't do it.
They just won't want to bring one down.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I do, and
no matter what the ball count, no matter what
they don't like bringing it down. I think it favors if he can get behind the 8 where they can't shoot at it. It favors me.
I think so, especially when you're hooking them on it. Yeah.
Maybe that's the part of the game I don't understand.
Yeah,
which is very possible.
I don't know. Is that the first person to put a ball down will lose?
No, see, he brought 2 down.
Brought 2 down now.
Maybe I'd like to have a long conversation with Scott Frost about that, and maybe even
or Tony,
and
or
why
Alex.
don't you guys? Why don't they like pocketing balls? Now I do recall a match one time I had with Jose Barrica.
Oh yeah.
And I shot a ball like that, pocketed in the corner and left the cue ball about where it is now, and he fired at the cut. I won't tell you how it came out.
You won't?
No.
Well, you just tell us.
But he fired at the cut. Oh no, actually, he fired at the cut and missed the whole ball. And so spotted 1 up. So it's not a bad shot to shoot because if you miss the whole ball, you're going to spot 1 up. Now
I've seen Jose do that against John Schmidt. And 2 rails scratched in the opposite corner.
Yep.
So Chip has a bank.
On the 3. And after that, there's nothing. But it's a bank on the 3, so he's just trying to focus to make this. Cue ball will go just short, just above the side pocket. Try to break something loose. Get another shot after that. He didn't. Didn't pocket the ball. And now gets removed. They're playing one pocket with one. They're playing 1 ball, 1 pocket.
Yes, they are.
Now see, right here, I like pocketing the 11 ball and leaving the ball deep in the jaws, the cue ball deep in the jaws. And he doesn't even look at it. So there's got to be a reason that I have not been exposed to as to why most pro players will not do that. So somebody can please fill me in as to why you don't like to pocket balls in this wedge situation.
Well, we have almost 600 people watching now, I'm sure.
Help.
I'm sure we've got scholars that are more than happy to enlighten us. Because I was not aware of that because I don't mind bringing a ball. If I can hook them on the ball that I'm putting down there.
That's just my observation, Daniel.
I mean,
I don't know if I'm right, but I've watched matches with Scott and Dennis, Alex, and some of the players, Tony, and they don't pocket balls up on top. And I watch a lot of the pros play 1 pocket, and they just don't pocket the balls up there. Even your old classic, old school one pocket players don't like pocketing balls. But the rule of thumb has always been, if first one to pocket a ball, you pocket one immediately afterwards. So you get, and then they all start coming down to get rid of the wedge.
Yeah.
If you need them. The score is tied 3-3, so they both need 5 balls.
Yeah, look at this wedge. This might be time for one or two of your pool stories that you might have.
I don't have many. And most of them involve my losing, so I can't help you out. But we've seen some great pool here. We've had some nice matches. There was some action last night. Some of the locals have played some of the pros just with a little bit of weight and giving them some traveling money, which is usually what happens when the locals play the pros. But they get a great experience for it.
Sure do. Okay, here we go. It's a 3-railer.
Now see, this shot here, I actually shot one time or a couple times, and I was told by one of the top professionals in one pocket, not a good shot. But when you hit that good, I don't see where it's not. But a lot can go wrong with that shot. So he's got it again. Now see, I'll give you an example. This shot right here, Scott usually just kicks this out to the side rail and over by the 9. Kicks it up there. And he's just going to bank it over there. Okay. But you see, he tried the 3-railer last shot. He didn't try it again this shot.
Well, Bill Myers in the chat room.
9 ball, yes.
Kentucky says that
Oh.
there are times to pocket a ball and times you don't.
Okay.
And you don't pocket the 13. Well, this was back then when you don't pocket the 13 at that time because you give up a clear shot. Well, Itan Mizrahi says, and by the way, hello to you guys. It leaves an opening, maybe a bank, or at worst a chance for an opponent to decide where to try to put a ball, put that ball on the table. Well, yes, but one particular instance was where we both saw Chip could have made the 9 and hooked him on the 9 that he was making.
And that goes to the first comment where there are times to pocket a ball.
Yes. Yeah.
And that would have been one of the times.
I think that would have been the time.
Sure. As far as leaving an open shot,
Brian LePask, he actually, sorry to cut you off.
Good.
He
No,
says,
good. I want the feedback.
He says if you're going to pocket a ball on the long end, you need to make sure that you bring the cue ball south of the spot. At minimum, you risk leaving a thin cut or a cross bank.
Yes, you do want to leave it inside the first diamond against the rail if possible. I do realize I did that real bad, and it does give a bank shot, but it comes with risk.
Yeah, and by the way, Itan Mizrahi, he actually does agree with us that would have been a good time to make the 9.
Well, I love feedback, and I love this interactive commentary when you can do it, especially like on Facebook here.
That's great.
It's awesome.
We're streaming on YouTube now.
On YouTube, okay.
But you're right. I think it was a good time. We got 3 out of 3 dentists have
agreed.
Have agreed.
3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't like that commercial, by the way. That was an old Trident commercial. You know who I worked for 34 years?
I think it was like a campaign for dentists over 15 years across different brands and different products. But go ahead.
I worked for Wrigley for
Did you?
for 34
oh, that's
years.
right.
Yeah.
You had the.
Yep.
I think you had like Wrigley swag that you were showing me, like your travel bag that
was. Okay, right. Oh, that exactly.
Got lost with your cues.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm retired from the Wrigley Company, and that was actually a Trident commercial. 3 out of 5 dentists, or 4 out of 5 dentists agree on this, that, or the other. And
oh, I'm sorry. Are you contractually obligated not to say that?
Oh, will he play this 1 ball? Will he bank this 1 ball?
And
he can avoid those balls.
I like the bank.
I like the bank. The only thing wrong with this bank is he will give up a bank shot return bank, unless his speed's perfect.
Pocket speed.
Yeah, unless his speed's perfect.
That's what's so important about playing pocket speed in one pocket.
There's your return bank. You know, there's a couple of players that hit this ball really good. I mean, they just hit this ball so good it makes you sick. But for the most part, he didn't hit it bad.
He didn't. He didn't. You know, I used to shoot that shot good.
I just don't like the side pocket. Like he came close to the side, but he knew he was coming close to the side, and thus avoided it. So it looks like it's a reckless shot, but you know, he figured. He was aware of the dangers.
I think Chip's banking back.
This might be a double kiss. I don't think he's going to get by it. Yep. I don't think he's going to get by it. He's giving up a return bank.
Yep.
And a nice
Free
one
shot.
too. And Chris has shown us he can handle this shot.
Ooh, did you see the
English come off that?
Yeah.
It's called humidity, folks.
That one ball tightened up.
Yep. With the speed he hit it tightened right up. And that's called humidity. It rained last night. It's been raining. We've had
Past couple days.
well, the monsoon season's here, and it's in full force right now. Now see, he's pocketed this ball. Now see, right here,
Okay.
right here, he has given up a bank, and I don't agree with that.
You heard what Chris said.
No.
That's not at all what he intended to do.
Okay.
He just
with
cried.
that.
He just cried out to the pool gods there.
Now see, will Chip use outside English or inside English on this ball? Yep.
That's beautiful.
Yep.
That is beautiful.
Now see, I still like pocketing this 11 ball right here and leaving the cue ball deep in the jaws. I want to play with one ball.
I don't think he needed to. I don't.
Well,
I don't think I would have done that there because, you know, you are giving Chris something to shoot at there.
From
at
the
least,
jaws of the pocket?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. You're giving him
Okay.
something to shoot down table. I agree with Chip at this point.
Just leave it there?
Yeah, just keep this up, and
Maybe he'll make a ball by accident
Yeah.
and give up a shot.
but if Chip wants to, he always has that shot as a
Correct.
backup.
Okay. I like it as a backup, but like I said,
This is good cue ball. See, this is Chip's.
like
this is Chip's wheelhouse right here. You know.
wheelhouse.
You know, this is where he's
Where he
comfortable, where he doesn't mind, waiting it out.
Okay.
But you like this? You like what Chris did?
I like what Chris did, and the reason I like what Chris did is he made the ball, forcing Chip to make this other ball.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't shoot at these balls, and left them. Chris left him tree-topped over those balls, so he couldn't do anything with the ball on the spot.
Sure.
I'm just going to go ahead and pocket the 11.
Yeah, now you can.
Yeah. Get 3 balls on the spot, because 3 balls on the spot is much harder to control than 2 balls on the spot.
Mm-hmm. Now Chip has, painted himself into a little bit of a corner here.
Yeah. Bank on the 6.
Yeah.
Bank on the 6 with a bank on the 9 afterwards. But he has to hit this with speed. Either he hits it with pocket speed and doesn't leave a return bank, or hits it hard enough so it clears the area if it misses.
Short.
Return bank. Oh, his speed's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, his speed's good.
got away with it.
Yes, he did. That, to me, that looked like an obvious kiss. But it was a kiss that wouldn't hurt him, I guess.
No,
he figured it might kiss.
He knows it.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, by taking that ball out the way he did and leaving it where he did, Chris has to guard against leaving a bank shot on this 9 ball. You might just bank the 6 ball up by the 9.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Just and stay to the side rail.
Uh-huh.
Just roll up slow.
Yeah. You went this way.
Yeah.
Put the 6 ball in a nice place, but does he have a shot on the 9?
He hasn't put the 6 ball in a nice place because now this is a free shot for Chip.
Yeah. What I meant by a nice place was a place that he can't play it. The Chip can't play it. Right.
Yeah.
Now this is just a takeout.
I like kicking this. I like kicking this toward my hole. Yeah. Because good things can happen here.
Yeah, a lot of bad things can happen. Return bank.
No, you got the 11. Well, you got the 11 in the corner, so you're not gonna scratch.
You gonna kick it that hard?
Hard enough to go up there.
Wow.
You possibly double them up on the 6.
I guess I don't know the shot.
Well, maybe we should play some later.
Yes, because if I don't know that shot, it's because I don't think it'll do me any good.
Like Itan Mizrahi and Bill Myers said, there's always times to shoot those shots. I think that would have been a good time to kick that ball toward my hole.
I agree. I see
only
a lot
if
of
you
players
feel like that shot's in your arsenal.
Mm-hmm. That worked out. Missed it on the pro side. Left nothing. So does he 2-rail this ball up to where the up by the 13? So the up by head rail by the 13 ball, by the group of balls, so he can have a return bank later on. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Kick it to the right side of the table where I can get a bank later.
Oh, kick it.
Kick it, or he can kick it, or just hit it up there. 2-rail it up there.
Okay, but if he makes the 6, that could, or the 11. Suppose something spotted up after that.
Yeah, you could try making them both. This is what I would do. Make sure you don't give up a bank.
Yeah. And stay to the rail.
That's important. That's one of the things I notice about some of the good one pocket players is they like a ball by the side pocket, by their side pocket. Look at this cue ball.
Ooh.
I like that.
This was pretty for Chris. And look, he's protecting. There's a 9 ball now. He's protecting it. Now he's just gonna play off of this and stay in the stack.
What he's doing there is he's setting the table, getting ready to eat. I would do the same shot that the Chip just did. Just catch a rail, hit the rail. Make sure you get a rail up there, and that's it. Put him in there. That's nice. Hopefully for Chris, the 3 ball is froze.
He'll kick.
Yeah, if the 3 ball's froze, he's got to make sure he's going to get a rail. We can't tell from down here.
Yeah, we're all the way in Australia over here.
Oh boy, we have Australian people up there. That's awesome.
We're down. No, I'm saying.
Oh,
our viewpoint is like we're in Australia up there.
Sorry, I missed. I thought we had some chatters in the chat room.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if we did have some. That'd be cool. Have some Australian one pocket players watching right now.
Will he bank this 9? I don't mind shooting this 9 ball with right-handed English. Cut it as thin as you can with right-handed English. English into the ball.
Follow, like force follow too.
Just on top, yeah. High right.
He's going high left, I think. Yeah.
That brings the cue ball down. I don't like that.
And he's left a bank for Chris.
Yes. That's why I don't like that. The high right hits the 2 rails and comes over, it stays up on top of the table. And this could tie up the ball count 4-4. He's pretty much tied up the ball count. All he can do here is make it. He can make it and scratch, which is actually hard to do because he's tree-topped. Or just make it and give up the ball and tie the score up 4-4. Now see here, I like pocketing the 14th.
There's a lot of pressure on Chip to win this game.
Oh yeah. Well, if he loses the game, he loses the match.
It's the set.
Yeah, it's a set. Ball count is tied at 4. Game count favors Chris 2-1. So Chip is fighting for his tournament life because this is on the one-loss side. So if they want to continue to stay in the tournament, they want to win this game.
Well, we have someone from Germany watching at least. Greetings, Julian Lindstadt. I have an audience. We have an audience in Germany because I think my last name is Busch. You know,
okay, okay. So you're not related to the Anheuser-Busch family?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, only if you get free beer.
Who's this? Hey, hi Tim. Thank you, Tim Daniels.
People are walking up wishing them a happy birthday.
I want to thank everybody for the birthday wishes. It's been overwhelming. Facebook, YouTube, email, text. It's just been really amazing of all of you guys.
Don't break those balls. This is a tough shot, but a makeable one. This is he's going to have to shoot this with pocket speed so the cue ball doesn't come back up and sell out the 13. Or he just might shoot at the 6 ball and stay there. I would shoot at the 9 ball with pocket speed. Just barely hit it. Hopefully make it. He did not, but the cue ball was perfect. Nice shot. Nice shot by Chris.
I'm thinking this is a soft kick. Yep.
Real soft. We got to block this bank on the 6.
Choice now. Yeah.
Now he can shoot this 13 and bring another ball over close to his hole.
How did he hit that?
A little harder would have been beautiful. If he can get that to the bottom rail, it would have been awesome.
I think he's fine either way.
Did he block it?
No, he hasn't. But he's put Chip in a pickle here.
Oh, he is. I don't think you can see the bottom part of the ball, so you might just have to make it for him. No, you could see it. Okay. Nice shot.
Uh-oh. 8 ball. Free ball. That's a shame, really, because Chip did play a nice shot, George, you know.
That was a very nice shot. Even though he's left the 8 ball, it's a nice shot.
Yeah.
Let's put pressure on Chris to pocket this ball. Or he gives up 3, possibly 4 if he doesn't make it. If he makes it, now he's got to take out the 6. I don't think he's playing shape for the 9, so doesn't have the angle for it. I'd pocket this ball just to give myself an angle to take out the 6. He might have missed it. Now he's giving up 4 balls.
Hello.
And this is the game. That's how big that shot was. Had to make that.
Wow. Chris never did that to me.
Come over. There it is. Okay. Now will he go all the way around the table for position? Or just draw it over or bank the 8?
Yeah, just baby hit that ball.
Yeah.
Now the bank on the 8 after this 9.
He's got to hold the cue ball.
You know, he can also draw and spin off the 8 if you're feeling wacky doodle.
Risky. Oh, he had less angle than you thought. Than I thought. He was able to hold it easy. Well, this ties it up.
He just plays better than us, George.
There's that too. He missed that one though.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
No, he's good. And that's game.
That's game.
Wow,
2-2.
nice game.
Yes,
2
Chip's
wedges in a row.
And it's his break.
We are at Hill, folks. Streaming live from Freezer's Icehouse. This is Daniel Busch, and I'm here with George Teyachea. Honored and privileged to be here with you. I'm tickled pink, brother. And I'm watching these two guys, these two U.S. Moscone team candidates.
Yeah.
Going at
prospects.
Is also a big treat, not just for us here, but for all of you guys out there. You guys are watching the future of pool, folks. Chip Compton, originally from Tulsa, Oklahoma, sponsored by Durban Custom Cues, hand shoe jump cues, JV cases, and
Club Billiards,
and Chris Robinson, sponsored by Jam Up Apparel, Kamui Tips. Enviro Assessments, and plays with a beautiful Jerry McWhorter cue, yeah. and originally from Ventura, California, the young prodigy who grew up practicing at Sticks Billiards, Jerry Machin's room, and we want to give a shout out to Jerry Machin as well. These are the young guns that are currently
in contention
for the
Moscone
yeah.
Cup. We have a few of those here. Josh Roberts is here. Mitch Ellerman is here for the 10 ball.
Yes, that's true too.
So there's at least 4 of them running around. Is Billy Thorpe one of those guys?
I think Billy was. I'm not really sure. It's a good question.
Yeah, he's here too. This is a who's who at Freezer's Icehouse in Tempe, Arizona, of players.
Darn it. I missed a great photo op.
Uh-oh. What was the photo op?
Can't say it on air.
Oh, okay.
So we're taking a quick break. I want to thank all of you guys for watching. I want to also take a quick moment to thank our sponsors, West State Billiards. Simply everything you need for your game room. Be sure to visit weststatebilliards.com, and you also can call them. Be sure to ask for Donnie Wessels and tell them POVPOOL sent you and that you saw their ad on the West Coast Swing events. Thanks a lot to weststatebilliards.com.
Hi, I'm Donnie Wessels with West State Billiards and Game Rooms. West State is more than just pool tables. We are the whole game room. We sell arcades, shuffleboards, game tables, pub tables, bars, bar stools, game chairs, foosballs, air hockey, table tennis. And with companies like California House and Olhausen, everything can match, making game rooms beautiful enough to be in your living room. So put down your cell phone and let's play some games. Call us at 1-800-266-8914.
weststatebilliards.com.
We at Tiger Products make the best laminated Q-tips in the world. Known for quality, consistency, and maximum control. Proudly made in the USA. Tiger Tips. The best just got better. To find out more, visit
tigerproducts.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Players are back from, well, almost back from the break. There's a cue, beautiful Jerry McWhorter cue that belongs to Chris Robinson. with his glove on top of it, sitting on the table. And Chris is eyeing some balls here. He's looking at Chip's break and what to do about it. He doesn't have many options here. He can't see the 6. He can go between the 10 and the 5. Let's see what he does with this cue ball here. He can go right between him and hit the ball. Wow. Look at this cue ball. He's put it up against the 6, so the only thing that Chip can see is the bottom of the 9 ball. Unless he can bank the 9, he has really nothing but a safety, return safety. He can bank the 9, never mind. Wow. I thought the 10 ball blocked that from our angle. We're at the foot of the table here, so can't see that angle. He'll just kick this out and keep the cue ball in front of the pocket. Oh, he's giving up a ball. If Chip chooses to shoot this, he has shape on the 6, is automatic. Now, do you think he can go into the 10 ball if he banks this? I think he misses the 10, right?
Yeah, it looks like he misses the 10. He may flick off of it, which actually imposes a little danger. It could scratch in the corner or the side. You see how I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, there's the danger. And there's your side pocket scratch. Came off the bottom part of the 10 and sent him right to the side pocket.
Yeah.
And the good thing is he left the ball hanging. The bad thing would have been if the 9 ball goes in his hole. But at least he has a ball in front of his hole. And unless the 5 ball is dead, which I don't think it is, in the right-hand corner there, all he can get is 1, possibly 2 if he chooses to bank the 6. But I think he'll make this ball and contend with the 9. Unless he plays real aggressive, fires this ball, and opens him up like straight pool.
Want to say hey to our buddy, Chris Swart, owner of California Billiards, is watching right now.
You know, one thing about that, I got to watch that West Coast swing in his pool hall.
The challenge, West Coast Challenge.
What a beautiful room that is. I'd never seen it the way, I got to see it. You were
some
doing
of our
that pan
footage,
around. Some of our footage
yeah.
is fantastic.
Yeah.
And it really showed off what a nice room he has up there. I've never been to California Billiards. I've been to Family Billiards a few times because my daughter lives in San Francisco. But I think I'll be up there the 28th through the 2nd. I'm going to be with my daughter, and I'm going to try to make it down there. What a beautiful room he has.
Yeah, I have footage of freezers as well, but I'm having it. I have to upgrade my Google Drive account. So.
And that would be a treat for everybody watching that hasn't been here.
Yeah, I'll be playing some clips either tonight or tomorrow, and I'm going to be doing more walkarounds. In fact, when there's going to be a players' ball party here on Saturday. Okay. That's going to be funny.
Wow, that should be.
We should have some priceless moments.
The tequila will flow and the players will be characters.
Yes.
It will be nice at freezers, believe me.
The tequila will flow, huh?
Champagne,
didn't know that was your preference.
Good tequila. I like the extra añejos.
Also, hello to Roy's basement. Ariel Francisco. Roy Francisco is watching.
See, now, I thought he would be bringing Semi Chen over to play this guy from Tucson that wanted to play her. I thought he might bring her here to Freezers and they'd have that match. Did you see that on AZ Billiards?
Which?
There was a post about playing better players, and a player out of Tucson got up and said that he would play any woman pro player, and he's only a mid-650 Fargo rated player.
Yeah.
And so there was a big thread on that, and he offered to play. Is it Semi Chen that played Donnie Mills?
Oh, is that what
Yeah,
happened?
she's got like a 790 Fargo.
What's his? His is like
650.
only
Donnie's
650.
No, Donnie's is way up there.
Yeah,
the guy that wants to
be in
play
the
her.
high sevens.
The guy that wants to play her says, I don't care about the Fargo. I can beat any woman because a man will outplay a woman for various. And he gave various reasons of that. And
you know, that's funny. That reminds me of Andy Kaufman when he used to wrestle women.
Mm-hmm. But I thought I was hoping maybe they'd bring her down and he would play this guy, because I don't know him. I don't know who. Look at this shot. Return. Does it go by the 13, or does he bank it into the 13, or does he bank it into the stack and put the cue ball behind the 13, which is what I like.
I tell you what I don't like is you can't give Chris a peek at the top of the stack because it looks like the 14-15 might be wired to his hole.
Well, if I'm Chip, I'm banking this 8-ball into the stack and drawing the cue ball behind the 13.
I like that. I like your shot. You know, because it addresses that ball that looks wired. Maybe it's not totally wired, but still.
He banked that to 13. Now, if this 15 is dead, we're going to see it right here.
If it's dead.
He's
if it's not, yeah, but see how hard it is to not leave Chip a bank on the 8.
Mm-hmm. And if he kicks this 13 out, he's got to come up a little bit so he doesn't give a bank.
He's got to somehow land in this catcher's mitt. So spin. No,
spin he did.
You see the shot he should have played is to kick under it.
Yes.
And leave the cue ball in the catcher's mitt.
I totally agree. You had to get that cue ball out of it, but you had to kick to the bottom rail first.
That's an important shot in your
arsenal.
In your arsenal,
Mm-hmm.
A very important shot in one pocket.
And you see, this is a match turning. This could prove to be a match turning moment.
Well, Chris had 2 balls. I apologize, guys.
No, there's
yeah, he's got the 4 in the trap.
No,
I'm sorry. That was Chip's side.
This is Chip's side.
I'm a little
Chip
confused. Sorry,
Chip
buddy.
has 1. And he's going to have a couple more.
Off to the races.
Oh my, he opens this rack up too. Right here. It's a steep cut though, so if he chooses to shoot this 8-ball and open up the stack, it's going to open up. He's going to say, I'm going to make double sure I make this ball.
Good shot.
And he's making sure he's got the ball count right. 3-0.
Where's my phone?
He's pretty straight on the 7. So he's going to choose to shoot the 3-ball next. Will he play shape on the 14 or the 7 is the question here. He's lined up, yeah, for the 14. I was about to say he's lined up for the 14. He just pointed out that that's where he's going to be. I like when they do that because that way I can commentate properly and give you the right angles. I love players that point where they're going to be.
I have a few commentator friends that dislike that. You know?
Really?
Yeah. Or especially they point where they want it to be when they.
Well, after the shot.
Yeah.
After the shot, kind of telling us where. I actually do that sometimes, and I do it to visualize, for myself to visualize. Now he's given himself enough angle to come for the 9, I think. It's pretty straight, but he's got enough angle to get on the 9-ball.
Yeah, he just popped over
exactly. Yeah. He'd like to have done that real smooth, but there wasn't really a smooth way of doing that. So he'll just pocket this, and that combo on the 5, I don't think is on. So.
Whoa.
He He would have had 7 if he just pockets the ball and takes the 2-railer on the 15. Wow. Big miss there. Big miss. It gives Chris a little life. He's down 6-0 in the ball count, but the game's still going. And this man's not quite on the hill yet. As far as, you know, one ball, he needs 2.
Just just wanted to make another important announcement. The next match we have coming up, Scott Frost versus Dennis Okoye from the winner's side.
And it's not for $100,000 this time, huh?
No, it's not. It's not.
And it's being held.
And it's not in Beloit. It's here at Scott's room, home turf.
Yep. Home turf, home tables, his pit, his design, his lighting.
So who do you like in this match?
Well, keep in mind...
Retired.
I don't know that he's retired, but, you know, he hasn't been playing competitively for a while now since he opened the room. It's been a year now, I believe.
Yeah.
So you do have to keep that in mind. Yeah, does he get out and hit balls every so often? Yes, of course. He's in his pool room.
Well, he's got.
But who has he played since that last match with Dennis?
Nobody serious.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got regular tourists that come in and ask for 12-6, you know, stuff like that. But we had fun watching him yesterday. He played well, you know, Made a couple of errors, and he looked up at us and said, "That's the retired Scott."
And there's something to be said for that. You know, that's why I pointed out. Just keep that in mind. He's not at his 100% Scott Frost level.
You better believe he's going to come with a match, though. Playing Dennis Okoye.
In the background, you can hear them calling the matches for the winner's side.
Yes, and Scott's match is on hold, waiting for the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we've got a real good match here between Chip and Chris. Once again, you know, I'd love to see these guys in a long session.
Mm-hmm. This is a good shot. Made it. No, it's going to hang.
Yeah. He hit it good, too.
Yeah, this is just a kick out. Bottom rail. Just stop the cue ball there. Kick and stick. No, he's doing this. That's...
Oh, no.
Now, see, that right there, all it tells me, in my opinion, this is my opinion, please, is he's inexperienced playing one pocket. That was an inexperienced player's shot at one pocket shot. Most of your experienced players would have kicked that out or gone for it all the way.
True.
And they would know how to shoot that shot so that would not happen.
Well, shooting that shot, you just shoot it to play a thicker ball and not try to make that ball. He shot it to try to make it, you know. In some cases, sometimes it's just good to get the ball onto your side. Mm-hmm. He had a wedge up there that he could have hidden behind as well.
Mm-hmm. So it cost him one more. Now his opponent is on the hill. He just needs one ball. So any mistake like this one could cost him the match.
You think Chip's going to twist this in?
Yes.
Oh, it's in. It's in.
And that's the match,
there you
folks.
Go. All right. Well,
Daniel, thank you very much.
You're welcome. George Teyachea, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
You can catch him on...
If you'd like me to, I come back and help you with Dennis and Scott. It's a great match coming up. But
sure
I'm going to get some food right now. I'm going to finish my food that was served when the match started.
I hope they have a microwave here. That's George Teyachea. You can check him out live during the U.S. Open 8-ball and 10-ball coming up later this month. Broadcast by CSI, Q Sports International. I believe it's a pay-per-view event. It'll be taking place at Griff's in Las Vegas, Griff's Pool Hall. So shout out to all of you guys who watched this. Thank you very much. I'm gonna see if Chip can't give us a few words before this match starts. Hold on. We also want to thank our sponsors again, West State Billiards, and all the cue makers that are here. The cue maker showcase is getting ready to, it should be up and running by tomorrow. We have Eddie Cohen already here, Ariel Carmelli on his way. Should be some KD cues in stock, but I'm not sure we're going to have Kent Davis here in person. We've got Tiger Products here. And we also want to thank John Barton and JB Cases. We've got some cases here that were provided by JB Cases. And we also want to thank Adam Kroll and Big Time Threads. And you can still get Big Time Threads West Coast Swing T-shirts.
Happy birthday to you.
Scott Frost, everybody.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you. Likewise. All right. Well, I was going to try to get an interview with Chip and Chris, but seems like they've kind of like slept at the wheel here. A little too excited. Hold on a second here. Let's see. Hey, Chip Compton. Hey, man, it's good to see you play. I know that you and Chris are friends now at this point. You're both candidates for the Moscone USA team.
Yeah.
I really would like to see you guys play a long session.
Yeah, I would like to see that too.
You would.
No, he's a great player, man. I haven't known him very long, but he's a nice kid and plays really good player.
Solid stroke.
Yeah.
I noticed you were struggling a little bit early in this match.
Yeah, a little shaky.
Yeah, a couple of maybe just shooting a little too fast, maybe.
Yeah. Nervous, man. You had me on the live stream. You know, nervous.
Yeah. Can you discuss the wedge a little bit? Being up in the wedge, it seems like you're comfortable in that sort of position.
I feel like when I'm not pocketing balls as well as I should, I try to do that. I try to put them all up there and make them get one ball at a time. You know what I mean?
I'm listening.
Yeah, it's the Nick Varner wedge, man. It beats a lot of great players. So.
Yeah, and that seems to be like your wheelhouse. You're okay there.
I'm good. One ball at a time.
There was one shot where you could have made the 9 and hit the cue ball behind the 6 and the 8.
Mm-hmm.
The ball would have been spotted. Chris would have been hooked.
Yeah.
But you didn't shoot that. You just kept on playing tiddlywinks a little bit. And
was it the last game?
It was the second to last game. The first wedge that we were in.
Was I ahead in ball count? If I was ahead in ball
3-3.
count, it was 3-3.
It was 3-3.
Well, I probably just wanted to get him up table so I could outmove him.
Yeah.
I feel like I may know a little bit more. Just I played one pocket a little more.
Sure. Well, you got through it, man, and I wish you the best in the rest of it.
Thanks.
Unfortunately for Chris, that's his tournament life.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
But,
race to 3 is a crapshoot. So.
Yeah. But he's one heck of a 10-ball player too.
He is.
So.
He's a great player, straight shooter.
Yeah, he is, man. All right, Chip. Well,
thanks, brother.
Hey, you want to say hi to anyone?
My girlfriend, Robbie Gale, back home. Hi, baby. Love you. Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome. Chip Compton, everybody, checking in with us, and congratulations to him beating Chris Robinson in a Hill match, 3-2. All right, we're getting ready now for Scott Frost versus Dennis Orcollo, and let's see if I can get a surprise commentator for you guys. Thanks again, West State Billiards, for sponsoring the West Coast Swing.